What's up, everybody? What's going on?
What's up?
Welcome to the Reset Small Group Ministry
of the new year.
Yeah, 2022.
This is our first
small group
video for the year,
Brand
outside
new
of
you
the
in 22.
one that we did for the Vision Builders party. Yes.
And so we're glad that you're with us.
Yes.
We're glad that you're in group. Glad that you made a
I'm so
commitment.
glad you made a commitment to reset for small groups for 2022.
Yeah. Resetting you in 2022. And so we're excited. The format's going to be a little different. And so we're glad you're in. So let's jump in with this. We've been in this teaching, this brand new teaching on doing more than expected.
Yes.
And this is a great teaching because this teaching is really centered around understanding that God expects us to do more than we expect to do. That God expects us to go further than we expect to do. And He blesses us for doing that. That He expects us to do more, and He blesses us for doing more than expected, more than how we feel, more than we want to do as He leads us. But then also we've been learning that God does more for us. God's committed to us to do more than we expect. And so this series is really about understanding that doing more than expected causes me to go from being complacent in something to maximizing situations.
And you know, as you're in group, as Bishop said, we are doing this a little bit different than we have in the past. And we want you to even talk about sharing, you know, what is the revelation that God is giving you? We're going to be talking about the revelation that God has given us just out of hearing the message, out of Bishop just even sharing the message, you know, because when you preach a message, God deals with you always first. And so with doing more than expected, what has God been talking to you about in doing more than expected? I know, you know, in this message, you know, one of the things that we have been talking about, and we even been sharing about, you know, even in some of our staff meetings is, you know, when we think about doing more than expected, you know, it's something that happens when, you know, God really deals with you personally. And it goes back to, which all of y'all know, one of my favorite scriptures is that it's not about you.
One of your sayings is not about you.
It's not about you. So when you really think about doing more than expected, sometimes it's not about you. It can be about you, but sometimes it's not about you. It's about what God wants to do sometimes in and through you to sometimes be a blessing to somebody else, but you get blessed in the process.
Blessing.
You get the reciprocal blessings
in your life.
In the process. But I really believe that the enemy comes in sometimes just to trip us up, to make us think that, you know what, you can't handle it, you can't do it, because he doesn't want either other people to be blessed or he doesn't want you to receive the blessings that he has for you in the process as well.
And I know people are always asking us how we balance family and ministry and responsibilities, and you know, how do you separate that out? You know, how do you turn around and separate out what you want to do, what you should do, what you need to do? You know, how do you do that? And I know with you and I all the time, I know with me, you know, there's, you know, when there was a time of doing counseling and having to do counseling, counseling couples, and we would have to counsel 3-4 couples a time, like in an evening, 3 or 4 counseling sessions. And man, I mean, we're certified counselors, but there'd be a whole lot of time I didn't want to do it. I didn't feel like doing it. I didn't want to do it. But I was willing to press past how I felt and get in there, man. Not even want to get in a session and get in there and be willing to go past how I feel. Past is not about me. And all of a sudden you see the Spirit of God start moving and you see lives being changed. And I think that is a critical thing here. Understanding that when you do more than is expected, I think what we said in one of the lessons, God wants us to do more than expected because it's when you go past what you want to do, when you go past how you feel, that's when you make kingdom impact. That's when you see a difference, like working out. You got to go past the burn to, you know, to really see results. And so it's a matter of being committed to do more than I expect to do, because that's when you see change happen.
Yeah, and I think too, when people look at our lives, I think they look at everything that we do, and we do a lot. We have a lot on our table, and it does look like we are doing a whole lot that's more than expected, and we are doing many times more than expected. But I think the key is to spending time with God, hearing the voice of God and being obedient and doing what he says do when he tells you to do more than expected. Because where God guides, he provides.
Yeah.
And whatever God tells you to do, he will grace you to do it. I think the problem is many times we're doing what we want to do or what we think we should be doing. And then we're wondering, why are we so stressed out? Because it may not be what God has told you to do, because whatever God tells you to do, he will grace you to do it. And then you could have a whole lot of stuff on your plate, but if God is telling you to do it, he will grace you to do more than enough.
Yeah, and that's when you see breakthrough.
Yes.
That's when you see change. That's when you see kingdom impact. When you go further than you expect. I'm only going to do this and no further. I'm only going to give this and no more.
Yes.
I'm only going to invest this time and no more. But you got that prompting to go further.
Yes.
And it's when you do, that's when you see impact in your situation or in the lives of somebody else.
Amen.
And so this is really, really good, man. Good. Now, we got a video that we want you to watch. Told you the format's different. Format's different. You never know what's going to happen. But we have a video from Jay Williams on Kobe Bryant's work ethic that we want you to watch this. You know, Kobe Bryant had this serious work ethic. So there's a short video, real short, it's like about 60 seconds.
So we want you to think about not just only the messages that have been played, but when you think about this video that you're going to watch, think about how it all ties in together and what is God saying to you. Share that, because you know, iron sharpens iron, and we have accountability with one another when we share it too in the group.
So there's 3 questions we want y'all to ask off of this. You only normally give us one. This is setting a new thing, reset.
We're resetting.
In 2022. So go ahead, and what's the questions that they're going to have today?
The first one, number one, we want you to discuss and come up with strategies you can use to stay focused on the 2022 reset goals that God has for you this year.
Great
Again,
question.
some of the things that you know God's been dealing with you, some of the things that maybe you put on your vision board. How is it that you can stay focused with what you know God has called you to do in resetting for 2022?
All right.
Then number 2, we want you to discuss what accountability looks like for you and your family. You discussing it here is one form of accountability, but what else is God saying that you need for you and your family, and discuss what that accountability maybe look like. Because what some of you in the group may have some great ideas that other people may not have thought about that they could use, and you want to share it with one another.
Yes.
And then number 3, how can you encourage those who are complacent or don't understand your drive?
That's a good one.
Oh, that is a good one.
That's good.
How can you encourage those who are complacent or don't understand your drive?
Yeah, so that's good, because this is not about being complacent. This is about going past complacency and being a maximizer.
Yes.
All right, well, enjoy it. Check out this video. Answer the questions. Have a great time in group, and we'll see you next time in small group. We love y'all.
Love you.
Be blessed.
Get there at 3 o'clock. I want to make sure I make 400 made shots before I go back into the room, and then I sit in the sauna and I get ready for the game. Who do I see? I see Kobe Bryant already working out. So once I set my foot across that line, I started working out. And so I worked out for a good hour and a half. And when I came off, after I was done, I sat down, and of course I still heard the ball bouncing. I look down, I'm like, this guy's still working out? So he was working out. Like, it looks like he was in a dead sweat when I got here. And he's still going. And it's not like his moves are nonchalant, lazy. He's doing like game moves, you know? I sit there and I unlace my shoes. I'm like, I want to see how long this goes. So I sit out there and watch another 25 minutes. And he got done. I said, okay, I think I've seen enough. Go play, you know, come back, get in the sauna, get ready for the game. That game, he drops 40 on us, okay? And after the game is over, I'm like, I have to ask this guy. Like, I have to understand, like, why he works like that. Right. So after the game is over, I'm like, hey, Kobe, like, why were you in the gym for so long? He's like, because I saw you come in. and I wanted you to know that it doesn't matter how hard you work, that I'm willing to work harder than you.
Wow.
You inspire me to be better.
Right.
And it was the first time I started to see this level of competitiveness where I said, I need to start doing more.
Right.
Wow. But you never get better if you're not willing to put in the time.